What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Greetings and salutations. Hello. Hello out there, garden family. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I adjusted the placement of my microphone, but it appears to be catching my voice just as much as it was before. Yes, indeed, y'all. Hello. How are you? So today we're going to be messing around with Unreal Engine once again. I say messing around, but it's serious. Documenting my learning process as I learn and grow within Unreal Engine 5, and also attempting to accomplish a set of specific goals that are going to allow me to express myself more creatively, more freely in telling stories and things like that. So I'm super excited about this endeavor. Hopefully, over time, we'll be able to rein some folks in and garner some interest. I think probably once I start producing the lore, lyrics, and legends, I think that's when things will pick up a little bit. Red, aka Slick Rick, Spoolie, what's going on? Appreciate you guys for being here. Silky, what's going on? Greetings, everyone. Welcome, garden family. Now, let's go ahead and get started. Without any further ado, why waste time? We're here in Unreal Engine. This is Young Armor. The likeness should not be understood as what I looked like when I was younger, but it's you know, supposed to be representative of that idea anyway. To represent a younger me in this simulated world that we're creating here. So, Silky, what's going on? I think what we're going to do today is basically add to the environment, see if we can break things. It appears that, for the most part, all the errors and stuff that we were experiencing earlier in the week, after creating a new project, after importing the newer version, or the updated version of the MetaHuman, installing some plugins and stuff like that, I think that most of those issues have gone away, but we're gonna run around and see. It's interesting to see how the performance is impacted by the MetaHuman characters, especially when you get close. Frame rate dropping to like 60. Okay. But versus when you just running around out here, frame rate at around 100. Yeah, no polka dot pants for Young Armor. You know what I was looking at though? These sandals, we got to change the color of these sandals. I'm not sure I'm entirely sold on the green and purple look. It's like Young Joker over here more than anything. But look at these sandals. Look at these flip-flops. The white flip-flops kill me. We're gonna have to change them to black. Black flippy floppies. The pants, yeah, the pants, I don't know what I can do about the pants. Anyway, so it's less, today at least, it's less about, because we can actually customize the MetaHuman at any time and then update the local file. But I think what I want to do is bring in some assets, bring in some 3D assets, throw them into the scene. See if we can create something usable. So I'm not sure what we're going to be going for setting wise. Young needs to be more obnoxious. In the look, you mean? Yeah. No, I could see that. Like, actually, I don't know. Like I'm thinking, young Michael J. Fox, or you know, the future Back to the Future Michael J. Fox, where he plays his son from the future. You know, I guess that's kind of like the vibe I'm going for, except maybe less. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not personality-wise. So, yeah, let's see what we got. I don't remember what content I loaded in here. I know we got all the Matrix stuff. I like the idea of the little retro lab, but I don't know. Like, we would probably have to build. I guess we could build a room. And or let's see. Let me dip out of here real quick. Cuz I know we have the house assets. They're just not necessarily optimized for Unreal Engine 5. But let's see what else we got that we could pull in. Let's see. There's like tons of add-ons that I've thrown on here. I mean, essentially, I kind of want to recreate the scene that we already had. I did load in, I think I loaded in the city sample buildings, the crowds, and the vehicles, and the street props. That sets us up for like a downtown scene, which I guess would work. Yeah, maybe we should go with that. Especially since it's already all in there, I think. Maybe we'll set up like a downtown street area. I actually do want to load into... Oh, no, I don't. Never mind. It would have to compile all the shaders and everything. So later, what I'll probably do... Next week, we can do that. I want to load in the Unreal Matrix Awakens demo level. Get that loaded in, compile the shaders, because I want to see how it runs. Supposedly it runs better. They updated it. It was pretty sluggish on my system the last time I tried it. Okay, so let's see what we got. Maybe we can turn this into a little mini downtown area. City. Let's see. City sample buildings. Building. You have blueprints? Like, that's probably not a thing. Building blueprints? Probably not. Environment, lighting, map, material, textures. All buildings lineup reference. All buildings lineup hero. Okay. Environment. Interior rooms, kit primitive, rooftop. Okay, let's just go building. Library. Kit hero building. Kit reference building. Alright, let's just throw one of these out here and see what happens. Let's actually get rid of this. Maybe just move this over. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Okay. So what is it? This is a level. It's an entire level. It's not like a mesh. Mesh. Oh my god. We're talking individual pieces of buildings. Okay, but can I just load... Can I just load a building into here? I don't know if it works like that. I might just create a level. Can I load a level into a level? I want to put a level in my level. I don't even know what's contained in this level file. It could be like a whole city block for all I know. The engine's like burp, derp. Missing project settings. Preparing static meshes. It's doing something. I'm gonna turn this music down a smidge. How is my voice volume versus the music volume? Let me know. Okay, preparing static meshes. Let's enable the missing. It's probably gonna tell me to restart. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, it is. Okay, so it seems to be importing the static meshes. We've got our sky atmosphere in here, along with the weather. We've got the metahuman loaded in. We've tested the Quixel Megascans environment items, 3D assets. So that's all working. If anything breaks, it's because of whatever we're doing right now. It looks like it's hanging on preparing static meshes. Unless it's just taking really... No, it is going. It's moving. Let's go! Alright, let's get rid of this. Don't need that. What else can we get rid of? This whole thing. This. We'll leave this piece in the middle for now. Is that how it's supposed to be? Yes, it is, huh? Maybe even like that. Trippy. Alright, let's get it. But it's not obscuring the wall there. Just get rid of the wall. It's a nice little backdrop. I don't know what that would be doing in a city. Same thing with this tree stump. Okay. I'm really hoping that this level is able to load in without... I'm pretty sure you can nest levels in levels. Otherwise it would be setting up a completely new scene or whatever. So how y'all doing? How's your mom and them? How's your mother? Sorry, clear my throat. Bruh, I was up so late. I was up till like 3 in the morning, yo. Creating content. Believe it or not. Preparing mesh distance fields. Here we go. Now things are getting interesting. Preparing mesh cards. I think it would be cool if I could just load up the Matrix Awakens demo map and then just like modify that. Like use that as a starting point to where I could like throw in the little convenience store, add like some different scenes or different areas where I can, you know, create some skits with these different characters as if they existed in this. Yeah, how would that work? It's like a 20-year timeline, I guess, so it could work. 30-year. 40-year timeline. But yeah, I'm just glad that everything is working together now. No major issues or errors so far. I am pulling in a rather large asset right now, so we'll see what happens here. Pairing mesh cards. We're at 40%. This particular thing. All right, let's crack open bridge. Hopefully that doesn't slow anything down. Let's go 3D assets. And let's go street, maybe? Sidewalk, highway, barriers. These are probably a lot of the items that we're going to be pulling. I don't see how this could be like more. Bring in some sidewalks. But yeah, I recognize a lot of this stuff. I think that everything that was used, like I said, in the Matrix Awakens. Oh, dude, look at this one, has rocks on it. Was stuff from here, so. Okay, now we're preparing shaders. Is the mesh even loaded in? Or maybe it is on a separate level. Because I don't see a mesh. What happens if you try to throw a level in a level? This level is third-person map. Hurry up and wait. So yeah, I guess in my experience so far, once you have your assets loaded in, you can actually work really quickly. And that's kind of why I want to have like a unified set of scenes that I can use to play around in, so that once I get everything loaded in, it'll be a lot less time consuming, no more compiling shaders, stuff like that necessarily, unless I'm messing with some like global variables. You know what I'm saying? But that way I can create a scene, or, you know, do some little skits, tell some stories, move things around, change the time of day, the weather maybe. Some versatile virtual sets. That's what we want. So, but we're getting there. If we can manage to load in some buildings, then I think the next thing I'm going to want to try is to load in the... See, that's the cool thing about the Matrix Awakens demo level, is that they have the AI already like making the NPC characters like walk around and everything. So hopefully we can reuse that. I just don't think it's going to be performant, because a lot of this stuff I'm going to be doing in editor. So that I can do the face capture. Preparing shaders. But usually if it's preparing shaders and it's done with the meshes, then you can usually see the meshes already. So let's go content level prototyping. Maybe that's why it's required. No, I don't think that's why it's requiring a restart. It activated some settings. Same way it did when I threw in the metahuman. Wait a minute. Notice that when I move the camera around, the metahuman character's hair like flips and flows in the wind. Am I tripping? It's just that at that LOD, when it loads that LOD. Weird. Come on, shaders. We're rooting for you, shaders. We're at 90%, yo. 90%. Okay, so we've got city landscape kind of stuff, barriers, traffic cones, sidewalks, props. Let's go back up to building. Also, I think I also might want to do like interior. We need railing, pillar, door. A lot of this stuff is new since I've been in here. Oh, shit. That looks cool. That's like a freaking castle, bro. Like a castle wall. But yeah, like an outdoor alleyway. I don't know what we're going for here. But yeah, ideally setting up a small scene is going to be the best performance-wise. So if I can get some NPCs in here looking somewhat natural, I can figure out how to get them walking around. Okay, there we go. So that's done. I don't see a building in here, which worries me. I think when we restart, it's going to have like a separate level. Let's restart though. Save selected. Okay, what are we saving? Cube. Okay, so whatever settings that just got changed, it modified basically every item in the scene. Every mesh anyway. Interesting. The aliens. Sure, aliens, why not? Maybe some of the people are aliens. We don't know. Oh, for fuck's sakes. It's compiling shaders, of course. It has to recompile everything because of the settings that changed. This is the most time-consuming thing when, you know, using Unreal Engine. That's why I'm saying it's like, you got to get the scene set up so that you're not changing any major settings or importing any new major assets. You know what I mean? If you already have them in the content drawer and you're loading them into the active scene, I think that's faster, but I think it still will compile shaders. A stranger in a strange land. That would be fitting. I don't know if I ever read that book. I had that book. I think I started reading it. Have you read that? Let's get a book summary. Go ahead, Silk. Bro, this is going to take forever. It's counting down. Like, basically, we have just over 600 seconds. How long is that? How many minutes? 600? That's 10 minutes, right? It's going to take 10 minutes just for us to load in to the project. Then it's probably going to compile shaders again. So, all right, let's dip into a monologue. Let me find my motivation. And go. Cut. Can we go again? Oh, man. Well. Oh, I know what we could do. Let's go modify the metahuman character. Where is the metahuman? Metahuman. I want the latest and greatest. More human than metahuman. Compiling shaders. Okay, loading into MetaHuman Creator. The sole purpose of this is to change the color of the sandals. What is this sidebar tab? This is new. Discover, tools, games. Oh my god. This Microsoft Edge app, it gets more annoying like every update. Okay. Young armor. Liberty, Liberty. Silky, have you read the book though? Stranger in a Strange Land, have you? All right, shoes. The shoe situation must be addressed post haste. Secondary color, black. Just black. Maybe. Oh. Okay. Bring the saturation down so that it's gray. There we go. Really dark gray. And in this primary color, I don't know why we're getting like. They happen to have purple green tint in the. I don't know. Sandals. Why is he wearing sandals? I don't get it. You only know the Iron Man. I saw that. That's all you know. All right. It's okay. I'll Google the clip notes. Okay, so we've got young, old, and adult armor prepped over here. You guys can't see because of my fat head over here. But yeah, see, we got young armor, old armor, adult armor. This was a experimental character that we are calling Maria. This was actually Cloud. It was as close to Cloud as I could get with the hair the hair grooms that they had available. Okay, so we'll see what ends up coming from that. Shoot. Okay, so we're still waiting for shaders to compile over here. Sadly, we've got about another 400 seconds, give or take. Cloud. But yeah, eventually, see, I want to, maybe we should just create a whole new character here. Create. What's going on, Abe? Creating a new metahuman character while we wait. Who should we create? Who should we try to create? We try to create. Maybe we should make my mom. Mom? An alien? I don't know if you can't see. So the thing about metahuman character creator, metahuman creator, whatever, is that it's designed, brace yourselves, to create humans, human likenesses. It's not set up, unfortunately, to create likenesses that do not look human. Therefore, I don't know. Hopefully, you know, it would be cool. Somebody else had said in one of the comments threads that I saw was that they really need to make like a meta monster creator or like a meta creature creator, meta alien. Well, yeah, you know, something along those lines where you can just kind of like have like a giant, you know, Tyrannosaurus Rex head, and then like, you know, maybe a gorilla arm and an alligator tail and giant boobs or something. I don't know. Give us some options here. Epic. What is this? Meta alien. Silky hasn't read the book. Boo, Silky, boo. Okay, I don't know. I don't know why, but I think they added some characters in here. Some base. These are like all their base character metahumans. Like you don't have to do anything to these. You can just load them in as is. Holy crap, dude! There is more. Hold on, let's count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh shit! Meta jackasses. I just downloaded the latest version of Meta Jackass. It'll create any kind of jackass that you can imagine. It's like hundreds of variations of jackasses that you can create and import into your projects. And all of them are capable of taking a shot to the nuts. Okay, yeah, I'm just really hoping that this loads up. Dude, hold on. Maybe I'm slowing this down. If I don't complete the process, let's just go back to my metahumans. So no to a young tender for young armor. Sad face. No, I mean we could. Maybe there's one already pre-built. You know what I'm saying? If it's like a custom created young tender, it just wouldn't be the same. We have to see what the universe decides for us. Be open to a connection, you know what I'm saying? Okay. We're at about 50%. Basically, okay. What is that, about 5 minutes? I think we got about 5 minutes left on that. Shader compilation. So if I create one out of the existing pool of characters, let's see. Amelia. Talk to us, Amelia. No. I don't like her. She looks stuck up. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Bernice. I think we'll probably just like load in some randos. What's up? What's up? My name's Young Armor. You come here often? Do you come here often? Excuse me. Excuse me. Hey. Hey, look at me. Hey, excuse me. Oh, thanks, thanks. That was partial eye contact. I'll take that as I'll accept that as you acknowledge my existence. Yeah. Probably just load some in. Lexi. What's going on, Lexi? Here, wait. I think you have different poses. The other thing to consider here that is a little bit frustrating is that some of these, any one of these that has the little, maybe I can. Any of these scenes get me out of the way. There we go. This one gets me more out of the way. Okay. So like if they have this little icon thing here. It means that it can, like, it's a situation where you zoom out far enough and then like her hair will disappear. It says that the hair groom will only be visible at LOD 0 and 1. So LODs, the higher the number gets on LODs, the further away. It's basically dynamically loading in variations of that mesh in different detail. So the most detail up close, the least amount of detail far away, right? So the higher numbers is designed for like far away meshes or views. So LOD 0 and 1 is when you're really close, which means that when you're really close, the character will look awesome. But the further you go away, you know, the more jacked up. Basically, they're going to be bald when you move far away. Young Armor got no game. Old Armor got no Armor got game. Let's clear that up right now. There is no variation of armor in any universe. Or timeline that has game. Okay? So it doesn't exist. It's not a thing. It's no game. Okay, where are we at here? So you think. Until you're introduced to a version of yourself you didn't know existed. Maybe you'll surprise yourself. Compiling shaders. We have approximately 160 seconds, but it seems to be slowing as I... We're going to sit here and wait. Yeah, it's definitely going faster if I sit here and wait. There's probably a Rico Suave armor in some universe. Rico Suave. Oh, man. That would be funny. Okay. Now, the sad thing is, as soon as this loads in, we're probably going to have compiling shaders again. In fact, I think, generally speaking, most of the time when we load in after compiling shaders like this, the compiling shader process lasts even longer once you load in. But not always. Whatever settings loading in these buildings changed, it modified everything or whatever, so or everything has to like recompile. It's gonna boot me out. Well, I'm not even really. Here we go. I think I'm gonna call this stream, like this noon stream, I think I'm just gonna retitle it "Compiling Shaders." The name of my stream It's not the garden. It is compiling shaders. Hang out with me while we watch shaders compile. My favorite pastime. Are you a developer? No, I watch shaders compile. Shit. Polyshore armor. Oh my god. It's gross. I resent that. Come on, baby, load in. Here we go. Carrot Top. We're taking it back to the 90s. Hits. Your favorite hits from the 90s. Including Alanis Morissette. Including the Beastie Boys. And I'm your virtual host, Casey Kasem. He was more 80s, but still. Dude, I'm pretty sure if they haven't already, they will have like an AI Casey Kasem. Just like, they should set up like a radio station that plays random songs that Casey Kasem would never play, with him like narrating like the intros and outros. Just use the AI to do it. You know what I mean? Use the deep fake voice thing that they've got, and then just make it so. You know what I mean? Okay. Loading map. Here we go. Yeah, exactly. Some death metal bands and like I don't know, like some weird like ambient music or some shit, like obscure, just obscure freaking genres. Like, this is a hit that was made by some kid in his mom's garage just last week. We don't even know where this track came from. Check it out. Oh my god. Preparing shaders, and there's 9,000 of them. Oh my god, dude. 9,000 shaders. Why is it compiling 9,000 shaders? What's weird is that like everything here looks oh each LOD each LOD. There it goes. So yeah, dude, like look, this is already loaded in and legit. What is it loading? Where are the why are there 9,000 shaders required? It's got to be the building, but where's the building? There's no mesh. Content drawer. Do I have, where's my like open level, new level, levels. This feature is disabled when world partition is enabled. Okay, so we have world partition enabled. Is it? World partition streaming is not enabled for this map. What? It lies to me. Okay, so that's probably going to be in project settings. World partition. Engine, world partition, editor settings. I think world partition is enabled by default, no? Okay, is world partitioned? In a world partition map, is this nav mesh using world partition? World partition, runtime grid, none. Is spatially loaded. Okay, so now it is world partitioned. I ticked is world partitioned, made that true. So we are currently partitioned. I can only assume. Save. World partition streaming is not enabled for this map. Son of a bitch! So I really need to just be sitting here reading documentation, which is obviously way more exciting. But I, you know, okay, let's go in editor preferences. I think this is probably less relevant than project settings. Maps and modes. Default game mode. Editor startup map. Okay, so wait. Settings. Game default map. I think this might be the one that I loaded in. World partition, unit testing, VR basic, time of day default, third person map. This is the current map that we're editing. Template default would be the unmodified version of the map that I'm editing. Starter map. Okay, this one is from City Sample Buildings Building Library. Have several of those. Okay. So why are these set up all as like separate levels? It's irritating. Okay, well, that's why it's compiling. All buildings line up, advanced lighting. All buildings line up reference. So yeah, I can't tell if it's trying to load in like I tried to bring one of the levels in here. See if it shows up anywhere in that project outliner. Let's see, cube, old tree stump, cliff, world data layers, world partition minimap. Why are these not visible? I deleted some of that. But why would that hide them instead of delete them? Weird. Okay, that's all these cubes. Okay, so the folders are still here for the other objects, but the objects are gone. So, okay, let's delete the folder. Okay, so now I don't see, yeah, it didn't load in any other assets. Which means I think we would have to actually manually load in the map and or level. Whatever it is, level/map. think map is like synonymous level. So let's see what happens if I just switch to different level. Open level. By open level, does it take me out of this project? I don't. Open level. So yeah, this is our current content drawer. So what I tried to do is drag the level in instead of just open the level itself. City sample buildings. Building. Kit building. So it's different building kits. I was kind of assuming that you could, because how else are you going to pull the building in? You have to like completely build the building? Mesh. Oops. Over here to the content drawer. City sample buildings. Environment. Interior rooms. Kit primitive. Mesh. Oh. Asset guidelines. City sample building guidelines. This is a blueprint. Is this just like a text wall that you can throw in? Oh. I open. This is a data-only blueprint, so only the default values are shown. It does not have any scripted variables. If you want to add some, open full blueprint editor. I don't want to edit this. City sample buildings, virtual texture, and static lighting. Asset guideline. Click to open this source file. So it might just be the settings for the content, asset guidelines. So if I go in here to A, to the materials. Mesh. You know what I mean? Like we could, like I could. Let's throw this mesh out here just for shits and giggles. Corner of a building or something. Preparing textures. But yeah, like there basically needs to be a script or something that can create a complete building based on a specific set of parameters. I know that you could do it with like an app like what is it, Houdini and stuff like that. They can do procedural shit, so you can just like set parameters and then have buildings be generated. But it would be nice if there was just like complete buildings that you could pull in. I guess that would just too easy, huh? Yeah, like where that does I like how that looks, but let's see. Anyway, so you got like corner pieces and random different pieces of a building. These are like what? Other variations. So I think, yeah, most likely what this is, I don't even know if this is particularly usable outside of the way that they implemented it in the Matrix Awakens demo. Because it's not like a set of building assets, at least as far as I can tell. Rooftop, kit rooftop. Oh, weird. So there's actual blueprints in here to piece together different rooftops. It's weird. So these come as blueprints, but nothing else. Get a rooftop blueprint. Get primitive mesh. I know. Interior rooms, textures, environment, city buildings, map. All buildings line up. So maybe that would be the best way to do it. And then copy assets from one level to another? I don't know. It is still doing something over here, so I don't know. Maybe it will eventually load in this building or whatever it is. Because what was it that I pulled in even? City sample buildings, building. I went over here to CH, and then I just grabbed this kit building CHA. Cannibal corpse with lovely song entitled "A Skull Full of." I'm your host, Casey Kasem. Okay, and let's go open level. I just want to see what happens. I know we're still compiling shaders and preparing textures and whatnot, but let's go over here to sample buildings. Map. All buildings line up hero. All buildings line up reference. Difference between a reference and hero lineup? I don't know. The shaders are still compiling though. I'm kind of worried I'm gonna load shit. It could cancel the process or the operation too, which would make me start over, but let's see what happens when I save content. Yes. Right in the middle of preparing shaders. Yeah, that probably wasn't a good idea. So yeah, the Matrix Awakens files are super heavy. I mean, at this point, the way that it's compiling shaders, I didn't realize it was going to go through all this. If I had known that, I would have just loaded up the Matrix Awakens file. Probably would have been faster, honestly. Chug. Oh. Wow. So what is it showing me here? The rooftops? Skylight waiting on shaders, meshes, textures, final capture. All buildings line up hero persistent. This looks like Yeah, just like pieces of buildings though. It's loading in something. Oh, okay. We're loading in meshes right now. This is going to take forever. Oh, okay. Dang, how many layers are there for that texture? It's like you can see it loading in, but damn. Zoom in on this little building because it looks the most complete so far. See how we got these nice reflective properties? Oh, fit, son. Graphics! I like the way that they did these. They kind of fake. They faked these like rooms. It's like a bedroom and then some kind of funky office thing. Not all of it makes sense. But yeah, as it loads in, the better it looks. Beautiful, beautiful. If they made the matrix map more performant to where it's like usable, I still think that that's probably my best bet as far as like a starting point. Pretty sweet. That's kind of weird though here that like there's like somebody's house in the bottom. Look at this, somebody's bedroom. What? I wonder if those are like randomly generated procedurally. I mean, it's kind of procedurally loads in random. Like, look at this. This is the entrance to a building that goes right into a bedroom. Oh, what in the world? This building's crazy. Still loading in the meshes, that's why. Okay, so all buildings here will line up. Different levels. Is it gonna let me switch back to one level? Content. No, we don't want engine. Content. Third person. What was that? Third person map. Unless this is this like the default? Okay, here we go. And we're back. Okay, so yeah. I think what I really want to do is exit out of this library and let's go through the process of loading in the city sample. Of course, it's going to take forever to compile shaders, pero whatever. I mean, really, that would be ideal if I can get this map. I just don't think it's feasible. We'll see. We'll see how it runs. Last time I tested it, it was like I was lucky to get like 30 FPS, which isn't terrible. 30 FPS, and then if I render out any kind of like animations or things that I do rather than live, then that would actually work too. What, Silky? But yeah, it would be sweet if I could get, maybe I could change like the settings within the city sample level to where it could be usable live. But I'd have to get the average frame rate around 60. Oh yeah. It's driving me crazy. So I think with this project though, recent project is out of date. Update. Update. Okay, updated successfully. Now, okay, how does this work? I think we gotta go. Okay, content. Okay, big city is resource intensive, intended for recommended specs, which I do have a 2080. It's mainly like, actually I do have the CPU I have is comparable. I think I have like 32 gigs of RAM. So we should be good. I got a whole lot of wham in here, you know what I'm saying? Okay, and this actually has Houdini engine built in. Well, it's an add-on, but yeah. Okay, so let's go content drawer. Discovering asset data. Haven't discovered all the assets, my guy. Your mom's whack. Your mom goes to college. Right on, Caroline. CPU, it's probably your graphics card, if anything. For most of what Unreal Engine requires, graphics card's probably the most important component. But yeah, you need a decent CPU, and the more memory you have, the better. Well, for something like this, which is pre-constructed, this is like a high-end you know, whatever, I don't know how you would describe it. It's just like a very like resource intensive project file because it's an entire city. And yeah, so but just for general purposes, general usage of Unreal Engine, you don't need even the recommended specs here. You don't need all that. Like I would say probably a 1080 GeForce 1080 or equivalent, or even like a, I don't know, I haven't tested it on anything else with this latest version. $2021 and there wasn't any way to afford a yeah, the graphics card situation is still pretty messed up. It's like hard to find a graphics card. The prices are more reasonable now though, but it's still difficult to find them. Okay, starter map. Let's see, no, it's the text render thing. Okay, so the map that we want is big city. Are we levels or maps? Where's the map? Here we go. Okay, big city level, city open world, or small city. What's city open world? Okay, big city, small city. What? What's city open world? Okay, let's go big city. Load into the big city. Okay. Yeah, it's the recommended specs. Yeah, I just happen to have very similar specs to what they're recommending. Level starts to load, drop down to 9 frames per second. Oh shit. Okay, here we go. It's loading in. Close the content drawer. See, that's the other thing I don't get. Like, how did they... Nav mesh needs to be rebuilt. You mean the nav mesh needs to be rebuilt? Okay, so yeah, in editor, without even running this, we're at like barely, not even 30 FPS. That's so sad, my guy. Scalability is set to high. Okay, let's try. Okay, let's try to. Oh wait. No, we're at, okay. Now we're at 30. So as it's trying to load stuff in, it's chugging. Okay, let's go. Let's just run it. It's gonna be up. What I don't understand, well, I guess if I could figure out a way to where I could package this as like a game file, we would probably get better performance. So maybe that's, if I could create kind of like a, I don't know how I would set that up to make it to where it has the same level of interactivity as being in the editor. Either way, it's going to take some work. But if I could package it, because it runs really well on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. This is the same demo that we were playing over there. And I think it was like, it was getting a pretty good frame rate. I want to say probably near 60 through most of those demos that we played through. It's basically just crashing. I'm trying to run this. But it looks like all the shaders are pre-compiled and loaded in here somewhere because it didn't have to compile any of the shaders. It loaded up the nav or the meshes. It did say that the nav mesh had to be rebuilt. So that could be one of the performance issues. I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Nav mesh built. Oh my god, is this even gonna load? Big city level. We broke it. Everything's broken. Can I get a progress bar over here? What's going on? And fade to black. Okay. Ooh, we're running at a clean 10 frames per second. Nice. Turn the volume down to a reasonable level, first of all. We're averaging about 15 frames a second. God, this is terrible. This is terrible. Chug, chug, chug. I mean, it runs. Just not well. So, yeah, like I said, I'd probably have to, like, pre-render anything that I made from this. But I like how the NPCs, you know what I mean? They're just out here doing their thing. Walking around, holding their phones. But yeah, this is a super disappointing frame rate. Literally 15 frames per second. Free guy. But I mean, like, you know, the cars moving around, the NPCs, this is what I want. I want, you know, I want the cityscape to feel somewhat alive. Makes it more fun, you know, to tell stories within it. Get what I'm saying? So, what can we do? What can we do? Make this work. Okay, let's turn off that. $20 FPS. Okay, okay. Oh! There was a car accident, so now we're down to 10. Oh my god, what happened here? What in the world happened? Oh my god. The taxi driver's like, it's cool. Wow. Some impressive AI. We got some floating garbage here. I think by us being in the road, we're messing up the car AI. Vehicle AI is going haywire. Okay, so yeah, we're averaging 10 to 20 frames a second, dude. Oof. Now, but here's my question: what were to happen? What would happen if I pre-rendered an animation? That's the thing, is like, whoa, yeah, like what would happen if I wasn't concerned with real time? That takes all the fun out, though. Let's be real. Well, I could always get a brand new computer. I can totally afford that right now. No, I think what I'll have to do is just steal some of the assets. You know, I can still create scenes and stuff, but I think this will have to be kind of like something that we work up to. There's probably some tricks to make this more performant. Let's go ahead and escape out of the... Let's go back to the editor. Okay, so yeah, this actually... In the editor, it actually seems to do okay. Like, what if we change it... We're at scalability high. Oh, some of this stuff is epic. View distance, reflections, textures, effects. Bump some of this down to high instead of epic. We'll save it. Yeah, I mean, if we can get, let's see. That's already a little bit better, but that's just in the editor. How broken does it look if we bump it down to medium? It breaks everything. Nothing looks good anymore. It takes away the shadows. We are definitely running at a higher frame rate, though. What does that look like when we run it? Play. Because if we just, if all I have to do is turn down the quality a little bit, that's not the end of the world. Oh, no, 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 I wish. Caroline, this is a project file that was created by a team of folks from Epic and some other development studios or whatever. They put together a demo for, it's basically the Matrix Awakens tech demo for Unreal Engine 5. Okay, so we switched the settings down to medium. But sadly, we're still kind of chugging. So this is at medium settings. And we're still averaging, well, we're getting consistently around 20 frames a second, but it looks a lot more clear. Like around 30 frames a second would be usable for live purposes. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Like, where we still have global illumination, maybe not as much as high. See, this is what I'm looking at here, is that there's no... Are we getting shadows on these vehicles or not? I guess we are. Yeah, we're still getting dynamic lighting and everything. So now we're getting like 20 to 30 frames a second. It's awesome. It's better. If I switch the settings down to low, though, it's probably gonna get like super ugly. We should try it just to see if there's any performance payoff that would be worth it. Okay, yeah, because see, look, in editor, we're getting like 60, 70 frames per second. This is actually like, well, because you don't have all the NPCs. See, that's what I'm wondering. Maybe I could turn down like adjust the AI settings and the car settings so that not as many cars are going through the streets, or not as many pedestrians are walking around. That would make it look less full of life or whatever. But if there's some settings that I can adjust to kind of make it a little bit more manageable, let's go to low and see how crappy it looks. It's probably gonna look like crap. Did it take out the dynamic lighting? What did it do? Looks like it took out global illumination. It's just like this weird kind of pre-lit. Let's save it and load that in. That's probably gonna look like garbage. Yeah, I still think at this point I'm definitely better off setting up small environments, small scenes, and then using some of the assets, because we can pull in the NPCs, we can pull in the cars. I don't know if I can make them drivable, but okay, so the city's still here. It's just not, look at how it's lit. It's like, weird. Got a bunch of, now we're running at 40 frames per second on low settings. No dynamic shadows. Well, I guess there is some on the characters, but there's no, like, nothing casts a shadow. Okay, so here's what I gotta do. Let's go to scalability. Okay, shadows. Global illumination will go to medium. Shadows to medium. Everything else will keep on low. Let's try that. See how that looks. Because right here we're getting about 90 FPS. And that does look a lot better. We still have like weird jaggy edges. Like, what is that? The anti-aliasing. Let's turn the anti-aliasing to like, high. Actually, let's just crank up anti-aliasing. Now we don't get the jaggies. And it actually, was there a big performance hit? There kind of was. Let's see. Save it. Let's play that. Yeah. Caroline, yeah, we're on the same page there. Yeah, so I'm just kind of tweaking with the settings, you know, because there's a trade-off for each feature, you know, like global illumination is pretty important if you want it, you know, it to look fairly real. Like reflections and stuff like that aren't going to be as important for most scenes, but lighting is super important. And this seems to still be running pretty well. Even though, okay. Yeah, see? Okay, all I have turned on is anti-aliasing, and I cranked up the anti-aliasing so we don't get those weird, like, jaggy edges, you know? So it looks clear and clean. And then I turned on the global illumination. We've got, like, the good shadows and stuff back. And we're averaging over 30 frames per second, so this is usable in live, you know, a live setting. Hey. Hey. Maybe we did it. This, yeah, for real, this might work. So now it's gonna be, okay, this is exciting now. I'm excited. I'm excited, guys. Maybe we can use this. I still gotta figure out what nav mesh needs to be rebuilt. That's like just something I can just go build. Whatever, compile. Wait a minute. Do you guys notice anything weird about these straights? There's no cars. Wait, there's one car. See a car. Okay, there goes a car. No reflections. There's a semi. Can I run? There's run. So this is like middle of the night traffic here. Can I take this? Oops, no, not fly. Okay, we need to look at the settings again. I don't... Maybe like cars and pedestrians only show up in like the higher scalability. Foliage. Resolution scale. Okay, let's bump it up to medium again. I gotta see something. Okay, we're at medium. Save it. Run it again. See if we get our pedestrians and traffic back. Medium certainly looks a lot better. But we got to get over 30 frames per second. Which we are currently. So did I break the traffic somehow? There's one car. Huh. Go look around. But like I said, for my purposes, this would actually probably be better. Just the occasional pedestrian. There is a guy over here. Here's a pedestrian. So maybe that is like major difference. What is going on with these signs? This dude moves back. He's like, oh God, she's crazy. All right, where's a vehicle? Okay, there goes a car. I think I'll probably turn anti-aliasing up. I don't think it lets you get in. So normally, it's weird. It's like it's not loading any of the cars. So I don't know if I broke something or if it's just because of the settings. Because the graphics settings probably shouldn't have an impact on that unless they have it scripted to where if you change that, it modifies the level of traffic and stuff. Weird. But normally there's like vehicles on the side of the road that you can just like get into and drive. Okay, hold on. Oh, world. So the editor itself loads. It's using world partition, so it doesn't load everything in all at once. Right on, Caroline. Okay, let's switch this. Okay, so it's upping the resolution scale and everything when we bump these up. Let's go high. Okay. So yeah, now it's sitting at resolution scale. So let's turn down the resolution scale. $35. Anti-aliasing, I want it cinematic. Post-processing, view distance isn't super critical, I don't think. Put that at medium. That does look a lot better. Shadows could probably be a medium. Reflections. Oh, we want reflections high. Textures medium. Yeah, textures could be medium. Effects. Effects could be medium, I suppose. Foliage. Set shading quality. I didn't really see a huge difference there. Foliage. There's not really a whole lot of foliage anywhere anyway. Go medium. Okay, save that. Let's run that. Okay. I'm excited to get this to a point where I can run it and get at least 30 frames per second and then still be able to customize and modify things. We're sitting at right at about 30 frames per second right now. But barely. But again, there's no cars or anything. So I don't know what setting it is that's doing that. I mean, 24 frames per second is technically cinema. But 30 frames per second. We're almost, yeah, we're basically sitting around 24. But that's with... It's weird how we're just getting like some traffic here. Maybe it has to be at Epic as like the base. I need to crank, I need to figure out which setting is changing. Just go scalability high and load it in like that. See what happens. Because it shows these cars and stuff here right now. I think it started us off at epic quality. Or no, it was high. But some settings were set to epic. I don't remember which one. But high, we were sitting at like 20 frames a second. So it seems to be the level of activity of the NPCs and stuff like that, which would, I guess that would be more CPU. Yeah, I mean, it's worth messing around to see, Caroline, especially, you know, if there's a possibility to get it running how you want it. Okay, I set everything to high. And now we're getting actually a better frame rate, but the cars still aren't working like they were. Weird. But it goes to show how heavy of an impact cars have. Yeah, I don't understand. Go fly. Fly around. Slow world partition streaming performance. Yeah, see, like, I don't see any cars right now. Here's a pedestrian. A couple pedestrians. But no vehicles. It's so bizarre. If I can... I gotta find out if I can... Oh, there's a taxi. Your ad here. Okay, well. Let's put everything back to Epic, I suppose. See if we can't get the cars to load back in. But I really need to figure out which setting that it's tied to that determines... Let's turn down the resolution scale. Save and play. We're down to basically 30 FPS in the editor, so it's definitely gonna if it. All right, let's see what we got. It's gonna take forever to load. Well, okay, here it goes. I still don't see any traffic. Weird. So either some setting that I changed or when I... That is bizarre. Maybe changing any of the settings just kind of like breaks it. Because I definitely didn't like modify anything on the level. That's weird. Let's go. Okay, let's go like this then. Let's go to small city and then we'll jump back to big city and see if maybe then. I did save the level though. Loading small city. Small city is supposed to be more performant anyway. So maybe this will be a map that is more ideal. Okay. All right, we got a little courtyard area here. Let's just load it. I didn't mess with the settings or anything. It looks like the settings are like maxed out. Okay. I wonder if my scalability settings are project wide. Maybe they are. They are. Because yeah, it's not loading in. No cars here either, or pedestrians. At least not like they were when they were like everywhere. Let's go to the outliner. Well, first let's go back to startup, templates, environment. Okay. Why isn't it showing my scalability settings? It's freaking weird. What did I do? Add level sequence. Yeah, where's the scalability setting? I'm tripping. Where did my scalability settings go? Okay. All right. Let's close it maybe and then reload it. Okay. That seemed like a bug. Unless maybe there's a toggle to show or hide that, and I accidentally hit the hotkey to hide that. If anything, though, I doubt there would be a single button hotkey to toggle. Like I did Shift Escape to exit the playing editor. Discovering asset data. Okay, big city. It's still not showing my scalability options at the top. Freaking weird. Then there must be a way to show or hide it. Show scalability settings, Unreal Engine 5. Okay, so there's another spot to find it. Up here in the settings. Yeah, Caroline. Okay, preparing static meshes. Okay, let's go over here. Engine scalability settings. Why it's just not. What's auto? We test your system and try to find the most suitable settings. It put everything at epic. Material quality level. Preview rendering level. Window, let's see. I mean, I guess it's not that big a deal. I just liked having it right here where I can just click on it. Show. Okay, so that was auto. I wonder where the vehicles are spawning in at or whatever, because like obviously let's go to the world outliner. Buildings, rooftop, geo. Buildings, capital building, crowd. Okay, so mass crowd spawner. Freeway. Zero buildings. Lighting and post. Platform specific post-process volume. Crowd. What about where's vehicles? Procedural audio. Rooftop smoke. To do. This is the to-do list. What? Rooftop biome. Traffic. Here we go. Traffic. Mass traffic intersection spawner. Mass traffic parked vehicle spawner. Mass traffic trailer spawner. Mass traffic vehicle spawner. Okay, so traffic clover. Okay, so that's just the rooftops. Zone shapes. There's a bunch of blueprints down here. Electric box. Okay, so we've got traffic spawners under traffic, and then up here we've got crowd. So let's edit this. What happens? Okay. World. Nothing here. Mass crowd spawner. Right. Zone graph crowd lane annotations. Zone graph flea behavior. Call pre-replication. Net dormancy awake. Runtime grid. Weird. Components. Oh, it's just okay, so it's a C++ thing. Huh. So I wonder why. Open this source file. Alright, let's go back over here. World outliner. What does the vehicle spawner look like? Mass traffic intersection spawner. Open full blueprint editor. This is a data only blueprint. Start with tick enabled, yes. Tick interval. Call pre-replication. Call pre-replication for replay. Net load on client. Okay, frequency, priority, advanced. Mass crowd spawner. Spawn. Oh, here we go. Entity types. Spawning count scale, simulation, replication. World partition. So 35,000 is what it's supposed to spawn, according to this. Entity types. 2 members. Mass crowd agent config. Okay, game, AI, agent config, mass crowd, agent config, metahuman. So I think this kind of like determines what type of character spawns in. Proportions. We could change the proportions. Okay, so that's for the mass crowd spawner. This is mass traffic intersection. Pull this back up again. Let's do mass traffic parked vehicle spawner, and then there's vehicle spawner down here. So that was intersection spawner. So vehicles that just spawn in the intersection. It's kind of weird. Edit. Let's go. Okay, let's just open up all these. It's another data only one. Okay, this one is, what was it? Trailer. Traffic. Okay. Event begin play. Parent begin play. Bind event to on despawning finished event. Clear all traffic lanes. On. Count 2,500. Simulation. Weird. Like, I don't see any reason why these wouldn't be working. The, on spawning finished event, after spawning vehicles, do spawning. Weird. Okay, engine scalability settings. Everything's set to epic. If I try to run this, so I load it in. Come on, baby. You can do it. Perfect brew, perfect you. Corner cup. Yep. It's weird how, like, the opening sequence of this little demo, how it starts up in the sky, zooms down. I'm assuming that it kind of does that little pause so that it can take the time to spawn in the vehicles and the pedestrians or whatever. Gives it a second to kind of load everything in as it zooms down. But I wonder if I could just like tweak the numbers on the spawners so that they're not spawning so many. Maybe that's why it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Trying to figure this out on the fly, folks. And there's probably a lot of information out there on this. Matrix Awakens, Big City, Unreal Engine 5. Not even sure exactly how to search for that. Okay, this is loading in. It looks like we have vehicles again. Vehicles and pedestrians. Okay. Good. But we're also down to really crappy frame rate. Okay, so let's go. Resolution scale was at 100%. The the settings. Let's take a look at the settings here. Okay, so basically it's epic. Everything's epic. And everything's here. Now, I'm assuming if we switch it to high, that is going to break everything. I thought it was originally set to high. Let's go engine scalability settings. Okay, so we got resolution scale, view distance, anti-aliasing, post-processing, shadows, global illumination, reflections, textures, effects, foliage, and shading. I don't know. I don't see any of these that would have to do with AI spawning. And even effects, it wouldn't be effects. So let's try just kicking it down to high. Okay. Now it's showing scalability high up here. And it doesn't show that any files are modified. It's not like let's just run it again without hitting save. If I remember right, it didn't really change performance much last time we dropped. Okay, it looks like we still have vehicles. Okay, still have vehicles, still have pedestrians. It's good. It's a good sign. We have the settings set to high right now. Okay. So let's stop the simulation again. And let's go back to settings. All right, let's manually do some of it. Okay. View distance, medium. All right, even yeah, just view distance all the way down. Anti-aliasing, I'm gonna bump that up because that gives me post-processing. Let's put that to medium and low. Medium. I don't know what that's doing, like a color correction. Shadows, global illumination, I think we want those at high. Reflections could probably be at medium. Looks a lot better at high. Textures, I think, can be at medium. Yeah, let's put textures at medium. Effects. Foliage. Shading. Put shading at low. Because it didn't seem to make a huge difference. Foliage. Low. Okay. All right. Now let's run that. It says scalability low. All right, let's see. Let's see what it did. I don't see any cars. So what setting is it that is... I'm gonna have to go through it one by one. Oof. Sitting at 24 frames per second. So this is still usable. There is pedestrians, but not very many. But yeah. One of those settings is breaking functionality of the AI. Doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe it's effects. Engine scalability. No, we left effects alone. Okay, so let's put everything back to Epic. What it started off as. Let's run it again. I have a feeling though I'm just not sure what's turning off the AI. One of the scalability settings seems to be affecting the AI. It could just be like the... Yeah, see, now the cars are still gone after bumping it back up to Epic. So this has got to be some kind of weird bug. We're changing the settings. Because look, we're basically getting the same performance on Epic. Well, maybe not the same. Similar though, pretty close. What's open world template? City open world template. Interesting. So it gives us the water. Huh. So it gives you like something to create a level within. That's pretty cool. Outliner. So it's got scene assets, lighting, post-processing. You know what might be kind of cool to try? Let's go back to Big City. I just want to be able to start modifying the level, but still have the AI working. Okay, switch back to it, hit play. I gotta bounce out of here and get ready for the forge. But I'm nerding out over here. This is super critical. Muy importante. Yeah, still no vehicles. What the hell? What is our scalability setting right now? I think I set it back to epic. Maybe it's just like repeatedly loading it. Like if you load it, let's see, how many times did I load it before? So save this, go to file, project settings, apps and modes. Okay, instead of game default map, editor startup map is going to be big city. Where's big city? Alphabetical order. Bloody hell. Guess I could have just typed in search bar. Big city level. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Save. Let's close this. I'm gonna reload it. Yeah, ideally I want to be able to turn the visual quality settings down to get a higher performance, better performance, but still have some of the AI stuff going on in the background. It's not 100% necessary though. Just be ideal. Yeah. Yeah, I've really only scratched the surface on, you know, I feel like I'm pretty good at, you know, designing levels, you know, the artist side of me or whatever, you know, I like to be able to put together a scene, stuff like that. But there's so much involved, you know, with game development. Really, you got to know how to code C++, at least like a little bit, like the basics. You can use blueprints for a lot of stuff, which is a little bit more intuitive, but you still kind of have to have a, you got to have some knowledge about programming because of the way that you tie all the blueprints together and the different functions and stuff that you use. So it's like, yeah, it's a little bit intimidating at first, but it doesn't take a whole lot to just jump into a scene, start playing around. 5 assets were open. Yes, I would like to open. Sharing shaders. Okay. Okay. So here we are, loaded into the level. Haven't changed any settings. Let's run it. I think I'm just going to try running it a few times and see if it just breaks on its own. Maybe it has nothing to do with my settings. Maybe it's just like stopping and starting the AI or something. Maybe it breaks after a few times. For some reason. It's not really giving me an error. It does say the nav mesh needs to be, or at least it was last time. Various programming languages in the past, but never stuck with it before. I guess I'd have to get back into that. Yeah, I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say that it's necessary. Like, you can just be of a artist mindset and, you know, still be able to build like some cool experiments, and it just really depends on what you want to do. I want to at least have kind of like a basic working knowledge of programming, and especially for blueprints. So I think realistically I'm probably gonna learn a little bit of C++, like so that I can create functions and call, you know, you know, just like basic stuff, and then do most of the scripting through blueprints. Okay, is this loading? I guess it's loading. Yeah, it's weird. Like, so I built most of this garden community off of just straight gaming streams. So I know a lot of the community probably finds this super boring. But yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. But like, I'm just showing my process and trying to get some things working. I think once I'm using it to create content, people will understand it. But right now, it's like, what is he doing? Why is he doing this? Uh-oh, video memory warning. And it's still saying nav mesh needs to be... Okay, do we have vehicles? Okay, we have cars. Okay, so on that first load in... Hold on, let's Google... Nav mesh needs to be rebuilt. Unreal Engine 5. Oh. Set navigation system settings in your project settings. Make an agent if one doesn't exist. Set navigation mesh settings in project settings. Ensure recast nav mesh object in your level matches these settings. Ensure character movement component match those settings. Nav mesh needs to be rebuilt. Breaks every time level is loaded. Every time level is loaded from another level. Okay, Matrix Awakens level UE5 nav mesh needs to be rebuilt. Okay. So that maybe that could be. There goes my chair. That could be the reason why we're getting that error, or could be the reason why it's breaking. Because, yeah, when we first load in, like, and we had those weird issues where the cars were like running into each other and stuff. Nav map. I don't know. Nav mesh needs to be rebuilt. Build. Build all levels. Pre-computes lighting data, visibility data, generates navigation networks, and updates brush models. Okay, can we just do... Oh, here we go. Build paths. Only build paths, all levels. Build zone graph data. Okay, let's build paths. See what happens. Hopefully this doesn't break anything. Okay, cool. Navigation build completed with a bunch of warnings. Oh my god. Turn those off. You could... Oh, that's probably true. Cause the extra performance hit unless cast dynamic shadows is set to false. Oh, okay, so it's just saying large actor receives a pre-shadow and will cause an extreme performance hit unless cast dynamic shadow is set to false. So these are just all cast dynamic shadow warnings because of the performance hit that will be incurred by. That's what every single one of these errors is. Or wait, what is it? Collision enabled, but static mesh modular curb has no simple or complex collision. Static mesh actor has null static mesh property. Now, what other errors do we have in here? An editor, map check, load errors, editor errors, asset check. Okay, so control, yeah, I don't care about that. Okay. I'm afraid to save it. Let's wait to save it. But let's see if we still get that nav mesh needs to be rebuilt thing. It would be cool to bring in like map data. Nav mesh needs to be rebuilt. Still says that. Weird. Okay. Well, apparently I didn't do that right. Just build everything. Build navigation, build zone graph. Build reflection captures. Okay. Well, okay. I'm barely scratching the surface on this. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. It's about 2:30. Reconvening here in a little over an hour to do the forge. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this stream, and we'll come back. We'll come back in a little bit to do the forge. We'll also be doing a game stream later on this evening. So yeah, so today's forge is going to be about just gaming in general, kind of the traditional Friday forge. And then next week, let's see. Well, actually, this weekend we'll probably be doing guild game streams, and then we'll go back into the normal schedule on Monday. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. Peace. We'll catch you on the next one. Later on, Caroline.